Every day, millions of Americans struggle to find reliable transportation. From being late to work or missing vital medical appointments, the effects can be catastrophic. And that's why DBL teamed up with Midas, Project Spark, and 1,800 charity cars to get one deserving veteran back on the road. But before we show you the surprise, our co-host Erica Cobb sat down with Brian to hear his emotional story.
Brian.
Oh my goodness.
So nice to meet you.
Such a pleasure.
The pleasure
to meet you
is
as well.
all mine. Have a seat. What made you enlist? And tell me a little bit about your time in the military.
The main reason why I enlisted was access to the GI Bill, which was the opportunity to go to college without student loans. You know, my parents weren't exactly in a financial position to send me off to college. I'm definitely glad I made the leap. I've got to go to 9 countries, meet people I would never meet otherwise, and see all kinds of great things.
So you also became a dad.
I did.
And you have a teenage son.
Parenthood changes everything. It's all about the child, 110%. He's been my life changer. He's my motivation. That's why I get up every day, you know, is Brennan needs it, Dad's on it, you know, that type of thing.
You're going at it alone as a single dad. How has that shaped you?
It makes you extremely resilient to trials and tribulations that you go through. It makes me plan. You know, I have to think ahead. I have got to always be a step ahead.
Something that you didn't necessarily plan for is being diagnosed with lymph node cancer 3 years ago.
Right.
Take me through that process when you were diagnosed.
Oh, wow. Well, it was about 4 months after I had just got full custody of Brennan, so I was kind of like, you know, in celebration mode, if you will, of finally having him in my life full time. But to get that diagnosis, it was tough. That was one of the first times in my life I've ever felt out of control. Right now, I believe I'm getting some positive response from it. I typically get scans about every 3 months, and that's after they run one of the regimens of medication, again, one day at a time.
So what effect has chemo had on you?
I'm not as sharp as I used to be. The side effects are, you know, 5 times worse than I think the cancer itself is, you know, the neuropathy and the ringing in the ears. And I've gone through the transition in the past few months with starting to lose teeth from radiation and chemo decaying that, and sometimes just waking up and not knowing what's going on.
So I want to talk a little bit about your comeback story, because generally when it rains, it pours.
This time last year, I was kind of in a situation between missing work and not being able to make ends meet. I basically lost my apartment. Put me in a position basically where I was on the street. I basically set up arrangements for Brennan to stay with his best friend for a few months. Just have him somewhere stable, because that was my biggest thing, is if I can keep him stable, I can get out and take care of business and get us back to where we need to be. But I was living in my car. I was, you know, more or less moonlighting at the VA hospital to, you know, kind of take a bird bath. And I became extremely dependent on my car. My vehicle was everything, you know. I lived in that. That was my life, you know. A lot of psychological and mental challenge with that. But I'm a self-proclaimed pretty tough cookie, so through it all I fight. That's all I know is fight.
Tell me about the car accident. What happened that day?
So basically I leave work and, you know, headed down the road and someone pulls out in front of me. Totals my car. That was one of those distraught moments. I'm in a position where those necessary things that I need to truly be I won't say a good parent, but make a meaningful move. Getting myself to work, getting him to school, going to field trips, whatever, to fulfill my role as a parent. That having a vehicle and having my own home again is everything.
Brian, your service to our country and your positive attitude are absolutely inspiring. We know that things can be troublesome for veterans. It can be a very challenging situation, and we want to do something very special for you at the beginning of this holiday season. So on behalf of Midas, 1-800 Charity Cars, and Daily Blast Live, we want to present this Volvo that has been repaired for you.
Project Spark is a national initiative created by Midas and 1-800 Charity Cars, really dedicated to getting veterans, families, and first responders back on the road. We really want to see him get back on his feet. For what he's done for our country, we just want to make sure that we're doing something for him so he doesn't have to worry about that issue anymore.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you for your service.
Appreciate you guys. I
There
so
you go.
appreciate you
Enjoy
guys,
that, man. That is awesome.
That is cool. Oh, wow.
Let me in.
He
Let
said,
me
let you in. All right, I do know the unlock features. Oh, wow, that's nice.
Oh, you got the leather seats.
I got the leather seats.
You deserve it. You
Well,
absolutely deserve it.
Thank you. I so appreciate it.
So-
My son is going to be like floored. And this was actually a complete surprise to him. He thought I was just coming up for an interview. Doesn't know I'm coming home with a car.
Oh my
So-
gosh.
So I definitely can't wait to see his
Yeah,
face. This is
yeah.
like blessings aplenty. Without a car in Atlanta, it's something that's extremely hard to deal with. You know, you got the ride share services now, but it's tough. It's tough. And my car was totaled a few months ago, and I'm still dealing with that. But this right here just puts me in a completely different, positive place. You know, I'm also dealing with a little bit of health issues too. I'm going through chemo treatment for lymph node cancer, so one day at a time. You
So
know?
you've been going to your chemo appointments, working, taking care of your 17-year-old son, all while having to rely on public transportation.
Yes, ma'am. For a couple of months I have. I do whatever it takes to get up, get my son to school, get him in the best environment for him to succeed, and take care of my day.
Yeah.
So he's my drive, he's my motivation, and we're gonna do it a little nicer.
And I've been in situations where I have depended on public transportation, and I've been in situations where I've had my own vehicle. And generally we appreciate those things based on our experiences.
Right.
But with your story, I appreciated those things based on your experience. And now you're in a situation where you can appreciate where you've been and where you are as well.
As well as where I'm going.
What are you most looking forward to in terms of having, because this is a space, this is your space.
Pulling out my map, let's go. You know.
You're gonna pull out a map, Brian.
We're gonna ride out. We're gonna do it old school way
You-
with the marker and the highlighter.
No,
and
you're not.
Get our fix on Route 66.
I did not see that one coming. Can somebody get Brian a map? He said he needs a map.
Amazing. Project Spark is dedicated to helping 1,000 veterans, first responders, and families in need. If you want to donate a car or nominate a deserving family, please go to 800charitycars.org. Donating is fast, easy, and tax deductible.